And hi,
Oh my
welcome,
gosh. Of
welcome.
all days to have technical difficulties, right? I was like,
Yes, that was me the other day. So don't worry about it. Like I'm like, this happens. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get through it, and I'm glad you're joining us today.
how are
Um,
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm great. We're live on
Good.
Facebook and on Amazon Live. So
Oh, wow.
the main feature in the carousel is, of course, the book.
Hey, you better have it.
Yes, because you know what I like. If I'm going to talk about something, because way before you signed on to do it, that's why I inbox was like, hey, I have Amazon. I want to talk to you because I had the book. I was like, yeah, we got to talk about this because a lot of people we kind of need this at the moment. So
Come on now.
this is a good thing. Like I really want yes, because I have some powerful women booked this month for this live stream, and I'm like, this is actually so perfect. We needed this. I had Kenyatta on Sunday. I have you today. I have Chiza on Sunday, so we are
That's
good
what's up.
and we are rolling. So let's go ahead and share a little bit. Tell the audience about yourself, and I'm gonna hold the book up like this.
Listen, you are so silly. So, my name is Dacía James Lewis, and
Yes.
I am a choreographer and director in the entertainment industry. The funny thing about this book, had I really thought about myself as a writer and an author, if you've asked me this like years ago, it's like absolutely not. We don't necessarily see ourselves there, right? But we have so many gifts and talents, and above all that, we all have a story to tell,
Yep.
right? And so I believe that God allows us to go through situations so that we can be a light to other people that might be going through similar situations that aren't necessarily vocal
Mm-hmm.
about it. And so, hence the book came into fruition right there. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be on.
Yes, because let me go ahead and say this. She, in her dedication, let me tell y'all something. After the legalese and stuff like that, she dedicates it to her husband, her kids, and she leaves us with a scripture. Now, y'all know I'm saved adjacent, but I'm getting closer to being saved. I
Did you
think I'm
say
off the
save
block list.
adjacent?
Yes, I'm almost saved, but not just yet. I'm right there next
Oh
to
my
it
gosh.
because I
That's like,
still cuss people out. I'm sorry to say it, but I do.
listen, listen,
But
Jesus flipped tables. I'm just saying.
hello, that's why I've been telling people. Jesus went up in there flipping tables. You best believe. Hello, it's okay to flip a table or two sometimes.
Right, right, right,
Okay,
right.
so the scripture that you have in the book is Psalm 27:14.
Uh-huh.
Don't give up. Don't be impatient. Be entwined as one with the Lord. Be brave, courageous, and never lose hope. Yes, keep on waiting, for He will never disappoint you. Now, listen, y'all. Okay, listen. Now we ask people to never give up on us and all
Yeah,
this other stuff, but you leave us with an actual scripture. Y'all see this? By the
right,
book, y'all can see the scripture.
right,
She
right.
leaves you with a scripture that you can put on your on your wall, on a post-it
Yeah,
note,
on your mirror.
somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Because listen, I'm saved. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I'm saved adjacent. So therefore,
Hilarious.
we
But
just
we're
gonna have
all
to.
going to get there, right? We all go through situations where you can get to a place of hopelessness. And, you
Yeah.
know, I really feel like right when you're there, how do you overcome? Because we all have a choice. At the end of the day, it's a choice whether we're going to continue to believe or not believe. So to have a scripture like that you can hold on to, something that'll tell you that it's going to get better. It
Mm-hmm.
will get better. So that's why I wrote that there, because it really ministered to me during, my time of trial and turmoil.
Because I'm gonna say this now, y'all gotta understand. This book is set up to help you to get the way you need to go. Because I ain't want to give it all away because I want y'all to buy the book. But I'm gonna say this: she has rules of the game of life, the rules of engagement,
Uh-huh.
and boom, bam, a 14-day devotional. Okay.
Yeah.
See, listen.
Yeah. That was I wanted a book. I like you version. I really
Mhm.
do. And I just finished working on my partnership with them. So I'll have a devotional on you version as well that I'll pull from the book. But devotionals really help me, kind of in my daily walk. And so once I finished the book, I felt like, man, it's missing something. Like, what is it missing? And it's the application process, because we can hear things all day long, but are we applying it?
Yep.
Right. And so I wanted to create something that would make us do the work. It's like in the introduction, I said, this is not a self-help book. It is a help yourself book, because we have to be in charge of where it is that we're going. Like, we have to get up and take the initiative, to get out of bed, to find some type of hope again, or just to believe, for something greater. It's all a matter of choice.
See, listen, y'all, we buy books all the time. And once we get through them, we read them and we keep it moving. She gives you the tools. Like, I didn't want to give that away. I want y'all to go ahead, click the link down there in the carousel now, and get the book, because let me tell you something. Because I'm hard on books. I'm very hard on books, because especially when it comes down to, because I've seen some books that were pamphlets, and I'm like, no, I know I didn't pay $25 for this.
Did you say pamphlet?
Double space. You could have just texted me this. But I'm a very honest person, so I will say this. Let me just put this on the camera. You see this section right here? You see how many pages? This is the 14-day devotional. Now, mind you, this book is with the notes and references. Because I want people to understand, this ain't no
it's like 272 pages. Yeah.
Yes, it's some pages. Yeah. And it's real. And guess what? It ain't double space or large print, nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's a book. That's what we call a book. So therefore, y'all listen.
Yeah, and I divvied it up to where it's called The Game of Life, Releasing the Weight, WEIGHT, when God says wait, WAIT. Mm-hmm. And I think that we all have seasons of waiting. And I wanted something during my process of waiting. And in this case, I was talking about fertility. I find that there's an art to waiting. How to wait well. Like there's an art to waiting well. And so I divvied up the book first with my story. And although my story comes from the infertility side of things, I equate it to just any wait, right? Because we all have different waiting seasons. Yep. And then after that, I wrote the rules of engagement, because I kind of like you, I could tell you funny. You got a little comedic time that's on point. That's how I feel like I am by myself as well. And so out that wait, it was so many things that were happening, like some awkward and invasive questions. And, it's kind of like, if I wasn't a Christian, some of the things that I would have said back to people, you know what I mean?
If you ever need somebody, I got you.
You got me right.
I got you.
So I created the rules of engagement so that we can learn how to have conscious conversations with each other, right? Because we never know the waiting seasons that people are in. For instance, one of the things I talk about in the book is get a clue in the rules of engagement.
Yeah.
Right. And get a clue just means read the room. I put a story in there about my friend to where she was at a family function, and a young man came to visit, and he was talking about his brother in the past tense. Well, her mom was like, after he had finished, talking about the good old days, was like, well, where is your brother now? Well, the whole room knew that it was a good possibility that his brother had passed away.
Right.
And so he's like, well, my brother, he's dead. And then, glass shattered, hairpin drop, it becomes like, but had you read the room, had you just listened to the way that he was talking, like everybody else in the room did, you would have caught that clue. Right. And then not took the next step to ask an invasive question, or a question that would have just made him feel uncomfortable, which it did. And so this is as simple as asking people when they get married, like it doesn't matter what you're waiting. I just think that there's rules on how to have conscious conversations with people. So I dropped that dead in the middle.
Because my responses to questions that are not nobody's business, like, why are you concerning yourself with something that ain't got nothing to do with you, that's not going to benefit your life in any kind of way? Because this one of the things I don't like is when people ask people, women, when they having children, when they getting married, and when they going to stop working. Because low key, I'll say something about your mama or something like that. It's not going to end well.
But listen, but everybody not as bold as you. right?
Well,
Even I wasn't even that bold because I was trying to filter my response. But in the midst of a very frustrating situation, even after per se miscarriages, you get to the point where the filter leaves. You're like, I ain't feeling it. You know what I
right.
mean? And being very candid about your reply. So I had to get to that space versus some people born with it, right?
Because I'm gonna tell you what I need to say, and I'm gonna tell you be blessed. Like it's not. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm trying to hurt your feelings so you can understand. Like, don't do that. Like, don't ask
I'm
me
not
no
trying to hurt
questions
your
about
feelings,
no
but I'm trying
bills
to
you
hurt
don't pay. Like that ain't
your feelings.
no. Don't
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
about my kids because you don't take. Listen, you will start paying child support. Because if you don't know them, don't ask about them. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like when people ask questions like that, when you have the kids, are you going to help take care of them? Like, just let's get this financial situation out the way because
Down.
you go
Yeah. Yeah.
babysit. You coming to pick them up every weekend. Like, tell me how you gonna help me in a
How are you
situation that
going
you
to
asked about.
contribute to this?
Yes, because if you
Right.
asking me a question, obviously you got a solution and some
Right.
monetary help coming.
Right. I'm going to take that as an indication that you're about to be here to help me
Hello.
push. Okay. Listen.
Yes. I got an old Amazon wish list for the churn. They got their own wish list. They'll help you. Just go ahead and buy the stuff over. Be an auntie, godmommy, whatever you want to be. Don't act
Right.
like if you asking, you paying. That's all I'm
Exactly. Exactly. I hear you there.
asking.
So
Asking
yeah,
folks
that was
to
already
marry.
that was a fun part to kind of put in there. And I always say if you're uncomfortable, it's a great gift to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And just put the bookmark right there in the rules of engagement and just say, hey, read this.
This how
I want, yeah, help yourself real quick or whatever.
because you said right here on the first line, you said we live in a society where it is the social norm to ask questions when engaging in casual conversation, especially upon meeting someone for the first time. Questions like, what do you do for a living? Are you met? Listen, do you have a better job for me or something? Is that what you're trying to get at? Because see, this is what I need to know what this, because some people ask questions like that to gauge how they're going to respect you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. And sometimes, it's unconscious. Like I said, it's not business as usual. Like where it's not conventional the way it used to be where you were having kids at the age of 16 and 17 and getting married. Like that's how old my grandmother and my grandfather got married, was at the age of 16 and 17, down in Texas. And then they had kids by 18. But we're at this place where people are graduating from college later. They're moving out from their parents' houses later because just not having necessarily access to the jobs that they just got degrees in. Therefore, they're getting married later. Therefore, they're having children later. So I think that we have to take a step back and see where we are as a society and not get to the place where we're kind of like prying when people are still figuring out what to do next. A good friend of mine said, in this pandemic, don't ask these kids who just graduated what they're about to do. They just
They
came
might
out
be
of
home.
a pandemic.
No. See, that's why I limit. That's the main reason why I limit access to my children. Because if somebody asks the wrong thing, because I talk to them all the time, but if somebody asks them the wrong thing, I'm gonna say something, and you just not gonna talk to them. But it's just gonna be just what it was. I say because
Yeah.
sometimes you can't ask those types of, because some people who don't have children don't understand how much pressure
It
that
is.
puts on a child. Like,
Yeah.
my oldest is 18. They talking about, well, he's a grown man. First of all, no.
No.
Because no, because when I got married at 18, I thought I was grown. Okay, I was grown. I was lying to myself. I was a child still, but
We all were.
and I was just like trying to make people understand, like, just because someone turns a certain age, that because the law says they don't have the emotional barometers yet. They don't have the skill set to stop saying this an adult.
Yeah.
And I just,
Yeah.
children, where they going home,
They're going home. Right.
where
Well,
everybody else is at.
again, it's like, read the room. Like, if imagine you finishing your last year at home in front of a computer without having a prom or without having, a true graduation. Like, we don't even know the mental state where people are, right now. So I just think that we just need to be mindful of the questions that we're asking in any situation. And I think that takes a very intellectual a person to kind of shift and start to read and understand the atmosphere and the rooms that you're in, so that, right now they're calling them triggers, right? We just don't know what's going to trigger someone, or put them in a state where they're not well mentally. So I like to always reference the rules of engagement as a way to politely tell people they're asking you an invasive question, per se. Yeah.
I'm learning. Okay, so I don't have to tell people mind your business. So okay,
Hey, right. Or in this case, in my book, I call it mind your own uterus, right?
right.
Because you just need to mind your own and not ask me when I'm having kids, or especially if you don't know how, we're not trying and we just haven't nailed it, right? And so that's one of
Right.
the things that I talk about, just that particular journey for my husband and I, and then giving light to a very taboo subject within the taboo subject, which is male factor infertility, which a lot of us are not aware of, which we don't talk about it, but the brunt of that can fall on the woman, because we can tend to always assume that it's us, although it takes two to tango. I do also like to encourage men to get their sperm analysis as well, because there are a lot of contenders when it comes down to conception, and many people are struggling through this, and you don't even know it. Like,
Because they
one in
always blame the woman. Like we hold the key to everything. Like, listen,
yeah,
we tired. We done saved the world 12 times today. We done
listen,
everybody. We done saved lives. Like, what more do y'all want from us?
listen. I was telling the podcast I was on, Michelle. Was it Michelle? It was somebody podcast I was on, and we were talking about this, and I said, the interesting thing is, like, where do we get it from? And I wondered if we got it from the Bible, because in the Bible, there's so many, it says, and Hannah was barren, or, and Sarah was barren. It never talks about the male. It always fell on the woman, right? So I was like, did we get this from the Bible? Because we always think of people not conceiving. Why?
Girl.
30 to 50% of the time, it can be contributed to male factor, so that's a whole nother, conversation that we have.
I'm gonna drink water on this.
Yeah, a whole other conversation that we have. But I think when I love about our circumstances, and my husband has been a phenomenal trooper in this walk and giving light to it, is not playing the blame game, like being informative and share the information. But a lot of marriages can be destroyed during this time, because the intimacy can be diminished, because it's this chore. There's this point of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think. Just intention. Like, this is the intention, and the intention becomes, let me conceive instead of let me enjoy
and connect, and
connect.
that. Yeah,
it can be very tasking. And so I do also encourage, people to not make it a chore, and just figure out what yeah, and have fun. Absolutely.
Because sometimes, and I say this a lot of times, because even when you're not conceiving, like, a lot of people forget, like, that's the time to connect and to rediscover your relationship and rediscover the things that make them smile. So it's more than just that, the leading up to it, and like, it's all of those things. And so I love the fact that that you're having these conversations, you're discussing this publicly, because a lot of times, and okay, here it is right here. Okay, the parent that does not speak about nothing, but you better not bring babies home needs to work. That's right. Okay, somebody left the comment that I would have left, but I do feel like this whole, when you said releasing the weight, when God says wait, patience is something that we've gotten away from.
Yeah,
we've gotten away because of the instantaneous thing. Because I'm guilty, because Amazon give me multiple options, because I can get it tomorrow, or I can get it Friday.
That and the microwave and the air fryer. You hear me?
Yes.
Like, instant.
It's kind of spoiled, but we need to actually practice patience. And this is where I said, during the pandemic, and I always use this analogy of baking bread, because it's a process. You start with the dough. And sometimes if you have a starter, then it grows from there. And you have to wait for that yeast to bloom and be ready to be kneaded into the product that you wanted. So it takes hours at a time.
Yeah.
to make a perfect loaf of bread. And I really want people to understand like the art of patience.
Yeah.
And that's something I used to pray for. My dad used to tell me all the time to pray for patience. And I'm praying still
Yeah.
because I've been put through tests to test that patience to see my level, and I failed, but I tried again.
Yeah, and we're constantly give yourself grace because you're constantly trying, and that is the key. Perseverance is a muscle. It has to be worked. When we think about something that I talk about in the last chapter with Connect Four, it's a muscle that we're building. If we go out and try to run a 5K tomorrow, and we have not actually prepared our body for what that race looks like,
Right.
and what would we would look a hot mess out there trying or pass out trying to run something that we haven't trained for, right? And
I
so
know the side trying to catch a cab.
so to me that's how I feel about the art of waiting and patience. It's built, it's a journey, you know
It
what I
is.
mean? Yeah, absolutely.
So I wait. There's a one. I'm gonna get like. I'm sorry. I'm going to listen, y'all, because I gotta scroll through the book because I want y'all to understand. I went through this book, y'all, and it gave me some. You gonna check me
What
through a book,
what
man?
is it?
How dare you check me through a book?
Oh my
Okay.
god, you too.
I tell people all the time, like y'all don't understand. Like this. Okay, so right here, it's rule number 8.
Okay.
Think before you speak. Now
Uh-huh.
listen, ma'am. Sometimes the clip be loaded and you just gotta, yes. And so I've actually taken the point
Go down
of,
to them acronyms. What it say on that last page?
okay, listen, it
Is it
says, is it
thoughtful?
true?
Is it true?
Is
Yeah.
it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Let me tell y'all something. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a 5 count. I've been doing a 5 count.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I respond via text, email, or phone call. Okay.
That's really good.
Because um I'm growing. I'm still evolving.
Yeah.
But you check me through this book, by the way. So
Yeah.
yes, I have to count before I respond. And
Yeah.
I think it was Carl Winslow who said 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? Remember when he said that? So I
Oh
had to
God, that is
remember,
so
like you
good.
gave me more than 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got
Yeah.
so because some of the times it's true, but sometimes it doesn't come out as kind as it needs to come
As it
out.
needs to. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this: if you're having issues, guys, I'm gonna reiterate this book.
Not if you having issues.
I'm saying because I'm speaking for myself, okay? Because when I got the book, I wasn't expecting this what I received from the book. Okay, I didn't expect that. Okay, I was like, oh, Game of Life. Okay, releasing the way. Okay, good. It's gonna help me to do. And it was. You're not gonna do me
Listen,
like this in a
I
book, ma'am.
look, I don't know if you remember the game called Life, but Life used to be one of my favorite games back in the day. And so as I was building the book, that's why all of the devotional chapters are named after my favorite games that I played. Each one is a game from my childhood. And so even in the game of life, I thought about it in this context. What's the one game that we're all going to play in life? It's the waiting game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not discriminatory. We're all going to play it. So you wait to graduate. You wait to get into college. You
Yep.
wait to get a job. You wait to get married. You wait to have kids. If you're sick, you're waiting for healing, or you're waiting for instruction, or you're waiting
Yep.
for a change in your career. It is a game that we're all going to play. It is what I call the game of life, right?
Yes.
And so that's why I even titled it that and just kind of worked around that waiting season, because I think that it's important that we as people give grace to ourselves in our waiting seasons, and we also give grace to others in their waiting season, and then figure out how to wait well, because at the end of the day it's still a choice. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm reminded of, like, I believe it was like Dylan Roof, after he had that horrible murder situation. And I remember one of the family members of a victim, they asked how could they forgive, him, and they said forgiveness is a choice. I have to
Yep,
choose to forgive daily. I think that faith is a choice as well.
it
Choosing
is.
to believe for whatever it is that you're believing for. It's a daily choice. We have to wake up and decide, I'm going to believe you for this. I'm going to walk in expectation. I'm going to walk with my arms open, ready to receive. And I think that that's important, that when we change our mindset and
Mhm.
our mindset, and that's one of the things I included in the Connect Four, is changing our perspective of how we're actually seeing things, right? Because I think that's important on moving forward.
And I see. Listen, guys, I need y'all to understand. This book is it's transformational. If you were looking to change certain things or just change your mind, change who you are as a, the change the way you do things, then this is a great way to do it. This is a great path. And I will say this now.
You so silly.
Just buy the book, because I
By
can't
the
even
book.
stress to y'all as much as it is, because I when I because it wasn't until I was doing the when I was writing about you that that I thought, I was like, let me see what this book is
What
talking
this book about?
about. Right, because it was like, it gave me, I was like, wait a minute, because the title alone is what got me. But
Yeah.
then I read the synopsis, I was like, oh, it says, do you feel stuck in the waiting room of life, restless, anxious, or ready to give up? I said, that's me. Wait a minute, I'll be wanting to give up every day. And then it
Listen.
said, frustrated watching other people's dream come true while you wait for your own name to be called. See, for me, I am a facilitator of dreams coming true for people, like helping their businesses to grow, getting the publicity out there. But
Yeah.
it was like, I didn't want my name per se, but I want to be able to express to other people, like, listen, I hear the frustration that they have, and I'm like, how can I better help them
Yeah.
to understand they don't have to have patience? And that's one of the things as a publicist, we always say, have patience. I don't have no patience. How can you tell somebody else to have
Have
patience?
patience. Yeah.
Like,
That's
you can't tell somebody, oh, go swimming, if you ain't never been swimming. So you can't really give advice if you haven't, That's why I was like, oh,
right.
these people who say, oh, I'm a millionaire. Okay, but are you really a millionaire or a thousandaire? You telling other people how to be a millionaire. Like, make it make sense, but okay.
It makes sense. That is funny, because you'd be like, let me promote you or show you how to get 100,000 followers, and then you go to their page and they got 1,000.
Right. I'm like, oh, maybe they ghost. I don't know. Maybe they ghost followers. I don't know.
Oh my God, that
Maybe they
is
on
true.
vacation. I just
That is so true. That is so true.
you're this is what made me realize, okay, let me go ahead and check it out, because sometimes everybody has a different story to tell, and everybody has the ability to give information. And I love the fact that this, listen, y'all, I'm a true speaker, because even if it hurts me, I'm going to speak it. And I think that people need to understand, like, that's,
Yeah.
what we have to address within ourselves. But I'm saying this because I've read the book, I've walked through the back. This, put it on your bookshelf. Y'all know I love books.
Yeah.
If
Me
you
too.
need something that's just not going to be a space filler,
Yeah.
take the moment. Even if you don't want to buy it on a print, get it on Kindle. Get it. It's available, because we have to go into a space of understanding and work and do the work, because everybody talks about healing, but nobody understands the work that goes into healing.
Yeah.
And this book will help facilitate that fixing for that healing to happen. And I thank you, because you share a lot of your personal journey in it, you
Yeah.
know, and I love that people I was able to connect with you on that, because it's your person. Y'all have to read it. I'm not gonna tell y'all the story if y'all
You so
read the
cute.
book.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all gonna read this.
Yeah,
But
definitely get it. That was the goal,
and you
to
did it, girl.
make it relatable. And also, it's like you said, I'll end on this note. Some people are meant to kind of help push other people in to their journeys, and publicize them and help them achieve their goals. And I feel like those are the people that are waiting with you behind the wings, and it's almost time to go. And I feel like that's what this book is like helping you wait well. Like, let me help you be your coach while you're waiting, and let you know that it's gonna be okay. I've been there, right? And I think that was the ultimate goal for this book, is because every book that I read closed with a happy ending. But I wanted people to know that I was still waiting with them. And this is how we wait well, by encouraging each other.
See, did y'all hear her? I'm just gonna make sure. Like, I need y'all to just. Did y'all hear her? Because we're gonna talk about this, because this is definitely. Did y'all hear her? Because she waiting with us, okay? Because I'm not by myself over here being patient. She being patient with me.
You're so silly.
Y'all know I need. Listen, my patience is thin, honey. And if they had it on Amazon, I would buy it today, but they don't. So we just gonna leave it.
Good one.
But I'm so thankful for you talking to me this evening. Absolutely. About, your journey. And this book is a powerful book. And I don't know, your mindset set out to you're making a difference. You are truly making a difference. And if any way that anyone has any questions, y'all hit her up. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. She is,
you can contact me on my website. I do reply. So
see, she actually do, for real. She does. I know from experience. I'm not gonna vouch for nothing that's not true. Okay. Yeah, so I love the fact that you are available and accessible to others. Just don't be bothering her like with. Never mind.
Bye, girl. That's funny. Nah, you'll know if you bother me, it'll be like muted, like mute.
There you go. And I love that. And see, we're honest here. We are on the same page. So you all, please do me a favor. It's already a bestseller. Let's keep it up there, because
thank you.
If you have the book, leave a review on Amazon. Let other people know how great this book is. Yes. Even if you upload a picture holding the book with your Kool-Aid smile, would be great, so she see that you got the book. Okay, yeah. Let's let her know. Give her flowers right now for this awesome, amazing work that she has put out for y'all. Okay,
amen. I received that. Thank you so much.
Well, yes, and I thank you so much for talking to me today, and I look forward to many more things from you, because you are amazing.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Love your personality. Yeah.
Thank you.
And amazing article. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.